Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Friday, the 11th of June, comes to you from London. And we start by looking at the dollar index, fairly flat this week, no great change there. Still, key concern is, will we test this low that we saw back in January? For the moment, this could be a higher low. If we recover, and certainly if we go higher than that 93.44 level, that would be key. We've got downside target not yet activated, but for the moment the dollar is holding its own. This is the weekly, the daily and the 60-minute chart, my long-term, medium-term, short-term view of the market with the corresponding point and figure targets. I'm running on Refinitiv Icon, but of course with Updata you can run on multiple data services. These are the ones that I've got activated, so you can just literally plug and play the data services that you want to run on. So I'm looking at the euro. We're seeing the euro is stronger. The Japanese yen also, we're sitting at 109 on the dollar, so that just gives us a little bit of an early signal typically of what the dollar will do. And if we look at sterling, GDP numbers out this morning in the UK, slightly lower than expected, not really having a big impact on the currency. We rose quite strongly yesterday, and we still do have these upside targets in place into the high 140s, 150 level. Taking a look at sterling against the euro, we're sitting at pretty flat the last several weeks actually, and again bullish on all three time frames still for sterling. Bitcoin starting to recover. We're at $37,000. So looking at the weekly candles, we see here a few weeks of going sideways. It was really, that shows up in the daily chart. So those three candles there turn into 15. Of course, it's traded 24/7, so around 20 candles here, and we're seeing on the 60-minute chart that effect as well. We've got an upside target to 38,000, and we're really just waiting for this target to 46,000 to be activated. Of course, the key thing is we hold the 30,000 level. Taking a look at the S&P 500 index, we're up 0.5% yesterday. The Nasdaq also up, so looking a bit better on the markets there. The futures a little changed this morning, so it's flat for the markets opening in the US today. The VIX volatility sitting at 16, starting to look at historically low levels since the beginning of last year, or since the start of the pandemic, so that's quite key. The FTSE future is up 0.5% in the UK, the DAX in Germany up 0.05% on the cash market, the CAC Current up 0.3%, so no real changes there. Japan is up 0.2, it was down 0.2%, and the Hang Seng was up 0.33%, and China was down 0.5%. And in India, we continue to see the recovery here, up just over 0.25%, making new highs. So despite the pandemic, looking pretty strong there. Soft commodities, wheat is up 0.5%, and corn down just under 0.33%. Gold sitting steady at 1896, just nudging this 1900 level, bullish on all three time frames, and silver up over 0.5% to 28.11, just waiting for this break of $30 to happen. US bond yields fell quite sharply yesterday, sitting at 144, so we're really seeing a pullback there in the bond market, so that's quite key, and that means a rise in the German Bund to 172. So we are just seeing this 170 level being really critical, and for the moment we're finding support on that level. Taking a look at the energy mix now, we've got Brent crude sitting at 72.61, so pushing higher again, just really struggling to hold these sort of mid-70s levels, just can't quite get there, but there's no denying that the chart is bullish. Our call to clients this week was bullish. That's where we are headed. US nat gas sitting at 325. Again, we're bullish this week, and that's looking stronger as well. And if we look at coal, 84.75, big move upside there. So that's quite key. Again, we're bullish this week to clients. Emissions just up slightly. The break having occurred this week is really quite key. Interesting noticing the recovery in emissions here, which sort of came and tested this low. If we look at German power, the recovery is a little bit stronger, i.e. the higher low was at a higher level. This is looking more like an ascending triangle break, so German power looking pretty strong there. Looking back to gas markets, we're down this morning, but they've been very strong this week, and NBP was stronger, but TTF breaking, so that's quite significant there as well. That's it for today. Until Monday, have a great weekend. Happy charting. See you then.